Hi there, it's me again back to my English practice. Bad habits are difficult to leave. I don't know what I'm saying, but the thing is, yes, I said at because I have been saying this for almost 6 months. So it took me a time to overwrite the correct one, like back to my practice. So today I did my practice on passive learning. In one of my previous videos, I used the word passive learning, and the thing is I was not sure about the correct meaning of that word. I just used it, and so today I relearn not relearn, I just confirm that if I used that word in correct context or not, and I used that in correct context. The thing is, the passive learning is when you are learning something without paying attention, like things are coming in but you are not paying attention or repeating it or practicing it. Like, for example, if I watch a video about English learning and that video is teaching about the rules of grammars, and I am just listening and I am not paying any attention, or I am not writing down the notes for that, it means I am just listening it. Like, I that's passive learning. For example, we are doing something and the television is like running in the background, running like the television is on in the background, but we are not watching it, we are just listening it and doing our other tasks. So if there is something informative, that information is entering our brain but we are not paying attention to it, so it is not staying there, like it is not processing, and that's why we are not getting any input, or that information does not stay with us for a long time. And in passive learning, that happens if you are not paying attention. You you will lose that information in 1 or 2 days or in few days. So passive learning is when you are not paying attention, and active learning is when you pay attention to something. Like, for example, if I am learning some English rules and I have a pen and paper and I am writing down those rules, and after that I practice them, so and I remember or learn them with logic, so that's active learning. In passive learning, this is that you will forget it after a few days, and I don't agree with that. Like, I agree to disagree, and I have a reason for that. For example, uh, all my English that I am speaking right now, it is all from passive learning. Like, I consume content in English and I have been doing this for many years. Like, if we go back like 2019 or 18, I have started consuming English content from there, and I am still consuming it. And there is another thing, like, it is said that if you are doom scrolling, and if someone asks you to tell them about all the videos that you have watched till now, you will never tell that, and I don't agree with that. Like, for example, I am doom scrolling and sometimes I am having a conversation with someone, there is a topic, and I remember, like, my brain retrieve a video that I was doom scrolling, and my brain retrieved that video and I talked about it. And if a topic is being discussed, and if by chance I have watched a video about it, my brain retrieved that video. So I guess passive learning is not always a bad thing. Like, sometimes it helps you. I guess it's not always the case that you cannot remember it. It's stored in your mind, and when needed your brain retrieve it and give it to you. Or maybe this is something else. Anyway, that's what I wrote in my today's practice, and I am going to do my reading part now. Hello again, jumping back into my English practice. In one of my videos, I used the word passive learning, and I was not sure if I used it correctly or not. So I am going to learn about passive learning and then write about it and say it out loud for my active recall. So passive learning means you are just taking or receiving information without doing much with it. For example, you are watching, listening, or reading something without paying much attention. It's like you are giving input to your brain without processing it. As a result, nothing is retained. For example, I watch pronunciation videos but I do not practice it, so it's a passive learning. It is said that passive learning is easy but you forget most of it in few days. Agree to disagree. And the reason is all my English knowledge today, including my pronunciation and vocabulary, has been acquired from passive learning. I watch English content that has taught me all this. So if you keep repeating passive learning, you retain the information. Your brain retrieve it and give it to you when needed. This is just from my own experience. It worked for me. I cannot say if it works for anyone else. On the other hand, active learning is opposite to passive learning. In active learning, you don't just take information, you work with it, so your brain has to pull it out. Like you take a pen and paper when you start learning something and note everything and pay full attention to it. It's not like you are doing something else while learning. All your attention is on learning. Input goes in, brain process it, and as an output you practice it. And this learning stays. Like if you really learn something, you will not forget it after a few days. So that was my reading practice on active learning and passive learning. And when I used this word in one of my previous video, I used it in correct sentence. With that, bye.